Hi and welcome back to another story from Reddit, Tales from Tech Support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for future content. Let's now get straight into today's video. Don't touch that. Obligatory double post to spread my pain across the internet. This was back when I worked for a cloud filing cabinet, storing and sorting files for hospitals and other large corporations. In this role, within the first year everyone had quit above me, leaving me the senior lead for the large corporations side of the business. The healthcare professionals had me by about 5 years experience. Our stars, me. Boss, real cool dude that is one of the best bosses I worked under. The engineer, SQL wizard. The nurse, Ratchet. Needy, special guest. You might have noticed that the client I am working with is a nurse, and not some company CEO or accountant. You might think that this shouldn't have been my problem, and you would be right. Scene. There I was, happy-go-lucky, getting crushed under tickets, project deadlines and general pressure, thinking I definitely had the day ahead of me to do my actual job. Then the phone started ringing. Act 1. What? I knew that it was a hospital because the caller ID started with Saint and I let it ring because it's not my problem. Then the two HC professionals both said, "Not it," simultaneously and started bickering while the phone rang, unanswered. My trainees had their own calls to make or were already preoccupied. Stupidly, I picked it up before it went to voicemail and I heard both of the specialists laugh, followed by a few jeers of, "Sucker." Me. Helpdesk, this is absent. Ratchet. It's gone. Where is it? Why don't I have it? The referrals aren't going through. Do you know how important this is? Why aren't you talking? Me. Do you have a ticket open with us already? Overwhelmed by the sheer force and vehemence, I am immediately put on the defensive and she continues to attack. Ratchet. What do you mean, do I have a ticket? I am calling you, aren't I? Do you know how important this is? People are going to die. Me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ratchet. The sequel. It's gone. I need the sequel, otherwise how am I going to get these referrals started? Me. Turns my phone volume down to minimum. Okay. The sequel is down. I should be able to help with that. Ratchet. Unintelligible quiet muttering. I turn up the phone a little bit. Me. Can you repeat that? Ratchet. I said you can't connect to the machine. There's patient data on it. Me. We store your patient's data, it's what you pay us to do. Ratchet. I need to talk to someone. WHO isn't a $, idiot. I sit there for a minute, stunned and HIPAA certified. Me. Boss, there's a nurse that thinks we don't store their data. Act 2, homework. Boss, was it from St. Jerks? I look through my call history and confirm since the user never identified herself. Boss, that has to have been Nurse Ratchet. She's, well, you work with the billionaires, I'm sure you're used to it by now. But she's $and plus nutso. My boss then spends the next hour helping me go through their documentation, teaching me all the buzzwords I need to get her to shut up and get me connected. On cue she calls again and I hear a chorus of, "Not it." And, "Finish what you started." I pick up the phone. Act 3, striking back. Me. Alright. Listen here, Ratchet. Your system runs on technical buzzword and needs admin access, and if I can't get both of those I can't help you. Ratchet. Well, okay, it seems I got someone worth my time this time around. Me. Open up TeamViewer and let me connect so I can see what's going on with this SQL server. Ratchet. You're not ALLOWE. Me. Ratchet. I meant through your computer. Which is designated as the access point via your own documentation. Ratchet. Fine. I get connected to her computer and start looking around through the documentation and on her computer. Everything looks wrong. Me, Ratchet, why can't I interact with this session? Ratchet, that's because I'm working from home, and it's remoted to my work laptop that is remoted into the SQL server. Me, why? Ratchet, because my dog is sick. Me, that doesn't explain why everything is wrong. Ratchet, nothing full screens, just use the scroll bars to get around the remote connections. Me, so, I have a 4-inch window to scroll around your work computer. To find the scroll bar to work on the SQL window. And hope I can find it? Ratchet, yes. 2 hours of soul searching and window shopping later I find that the SQL server is perfectly fine and has everything it needs. Me, Ratchet, I don't see any problem with the SQL server. Ratchet, why are you looking at the SQL server? That's confidential. Me, you said the SQL was missing. What am I supposed to look at? Ratchet, my computer. Me, why didn't you say that then? Ratchet, am I talking to that same idiot as before? I might have broken my headset and stolen a newer one from a trainee. More research. It turns out that she used to have SQL Manager on her computer and it held a couple lines of simple SQL code to pull data from the server, which was then turned into the documents we stored and sorted. Act 4. You knew. I talk with my boss again, who suggests looking into Ratchet's old tickets and compare notes with mine. Way back in the archives I find a dusty OneNote that is dated 4 years previous and authored by one of the 2 techs that refused the call. That OneNote is a mess, don't get me started. I notice that the 4-year-old ticket shows Windows XP but the documentation on the SQL code shows Windows 7. Except, I was working on a Windows 10 machine earlier. Then I find the cause of my issues. Her IT department got her a new laptop and didn't back up anything before trashing the old one. All her data is on their servers, so they figured nothing important was on the laptop itself. This is the 3rd time it has happened, and when I said it out loud with my sanity cracking, the healthcare pros said, "Yep." So far as I know it happens every 4 years. I had been working on this, blind, for more than half the day and skipped lunch. I noticed that the 2nd iteration of code was implemented by E when he was the HC lead. Act 5, finally. I can script E to help me put this ticket to rest and call up Ratchet again. This time I change up my tactic and just distract her while he works. Call start. Me, hey Ratchet, I found that someone smarter who's going to get this all fixed up. Ratchet, finally. Thankfully she didn't fight about getting everything set up for connection this time, and I explain the weird-ass system that is needed to move around on her work computer. E, so, what the heck am I doing here, Absinthe? Mute me. You're going to help me get this crazy and $+ fixed up so she stops calling us. You're the writer of the most current code, and just because I can read it doesn't mean I can write it out. E installs SQL on Ratchet's machine and starts transplanting, updating and getting the code into working order. Ratchet starts to notice. Ratchet, hey, what's he doing? I see SQL. He's not supposed to be touching the SQL. SE, unmute me. How's your dog doing? That must be awful to have him sick. Ratchet, oh, the poor little darling, he ate my husband's boots and he's just been sick all day. I basically talked her back and forth while he worked, double checking the tables on the server and making sure they're calling to the right, etc. Been a while since I've had to use SQL, it's all slipping away. Ratchet, why is he touching the server? Me, wanna hear my recipe for chicken parm? I bet it's better than yours. Ratchet, oh no it's not. I've won the county fair cook-off with my chicken parm. Ratchet, why is patient data on screen? Me, what's your favorite color? Ratchet, purple. On and on this goes through the building, testing and implementation of the code. An aside, I had to put Ratchet on hold to take a call from one of my other needy clients that I hadn't been able to work on that day. Needy, Absinthe. You were supposed to call me at 10, why haven't you answered my 27 calls? Me, sorry Needy, I've been stuck with a customer for 7 hours now. Needy, but what about me? Me, this customer is the healthcare side's version of you, except the healthcare absinthe threw me under the bus and didn't pick up the phone. Needy, oh no. Me, yeah, I'll call you in the morning. Needy, okay. Switch lines. Ratchet, why aren't you responding? He's not supposed to be touching that. What are these documents? Me, so what's the weather like? Ratchet, oh, it's just beautiful right now, perfect walking weather if poor little Buckley hadn't eaten that boot. Eventually everything is tested and working properly. The documentation is given another layer and an essay-worthy ticket is on the books, closed. Ratchet, hey, it's working now, amazing. Me and the girls have been wondering where those documents have been for a month. Thanks. Click a month. At $$ and $month. I guess people dying might not have been an exaggeration. Fin edit, a couple minor mistakes that were bugging me.